Welcome to another episode of the Carry Unplugged. Today, for season 2, episode 4, we have a special guest. His name is Hashim Da Dream. He's an MC, digital ambassador, and a musical trailblazer, doing it big. So please help me and welcome me, Hashim Da Dream. So, Hashim, how are you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.
So, I always start off with this question. For anyone who is listening who may know you or think that they know you, who is Hashim?
Hashim no longer exists according to the Terrence We Let Some International Airport staff. Apparently my name is Hashim now.
Hashim.
Yeah, so, I don't remember who Hashim is. I'm trying to adjust to this new name that I've been given. But in all seriousness, Hashim Da Dream is a man of the Caribbean, born and raised Tortola, British Virgin Islands. Mother of Trinidadian descent. Father is Navision. So I'm a multiplicity of nations and regions combined into one person that pursues what he loves best, which is entertaining people, on the stage, through video content and everything else in between, man.
So when would you say your love for entertainment began?
It's crazy. I can't exactly pinpoint entertainment in general, but I always knew that. But no, I can't even say I always knew I wanted to be a singer. I'm not one of those. That it was a realization that birthed probably around in my high school. My school was having an awards function, and my mother and my principal at the time forced me to sing a selection for the event, and that was the first time I ever sang solo on stage in front of anybody, and I was scared out of my mind. And I was a shy kid that everybody picked on, but when I hit that stage for the first time, something just clicked. I sang High Mass by David Rudder. It's my favorite song ever. It's the first song I ever fell in love with, so that's the song I chose, and I just remember everything just melting away, and everything just made sense, and everybody was like, "You had this in you," and from there it just started to birth, and it birthed around the time when what I like to call the top 7 and 7 generation began flourishing in the BVI. That's the generation that birthed people like Monet, Killer Tuma, Celeb Press the Button, the Wolf Pack, and so on.
Wow, that's amazing. That's inspirational. So where did you get your name from? Like Hashim Da Dream. Like where did the dream come from?
Like most nicknames, it's given to you. I didn't coin it myself. I was called another name in school, which I will leave a mystery. For those who know, they know, and if you ask the right person, they will tell you what it was. But I went to boarding school for about a year after I graduated St. George's Secondary. And while I was away in Orlando at boarding school, I made friends with the school's varsity basketball team, and they heard that I could rap. And one night we were just chilling in the dorm, and he threw on a beat, and somebody hit record, and he was like, "So we're inside the booth now with Hashim Da Dream," and I was like, "Okay, sure, I'll take that." I didn't start using the name until years after, but that the name always stuck with me, because that every time they saw me, they was just like Hashim Da Dream, and I was like, "Yeah, okay, I can take that," and it just sort of fit, one, because it rhymes, but two, it's just a manifestation, or what do you call it? A mantra. Gotcha. for me to live by, to wake up and make my dreams a reality every day. Okay. Live my dream.
So you grew up in the BVI. Who would you say were your biggest musical influences growing up?
Well, like I said, music wasn't a passion until my late teens, but I grew up admiring, many people, both locally and internationally, because I had expat parents. My house was filled with the sounds of calypso. So my first lovers of music, before I even knew I wanted to do it, were people like David Rudder, The Mighty Sparrow, Destra Garcia, Masha Montano, Bungie Garlin. When I started getting more into it, my inspirations locally became the the Jugus, Alton Bertie, Lincoln Ward was a big influence on me, and he, as I progressed in my years, we developed a really strong professional relationship on the music side. He was the studio that I always went to, and I think that's the studio where I really started to hone my sound and started to come into my own as a singer. So yeah, a lot of those people paved the way for who I am and what I am today.
So having those people pave the way for who you are today, how would you describe your music style?
My style has always been coined soca with a twist, aka SWAT.
Ooh.
And SWAT.
Soca with it. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
for those of you who didn't know, yeah. So that's why I always say SWAT on all of my songs. And I kind of coined it off of a conversation I had with Bungie Garlin, my very first carnival. He said, you sound like a pop star who just learned how to sing soca, and that's how I sounded. I sounded very poppy when I first started singing soca music. And then around that same time, Chris Brown had dropped his album Fame, and he had several different acronyms for it, and it just that combined with the conversation I had with Garlin. That's how I originally coined the phrase "soca with a twist."
Okay, that's what's up. Would you say there were many challenges getting into your musical journey? Did you have any challenges at all?
I don't want to say I had challenges like maybe like lack of support or anything like that. I thankfully was surrounded by a very supportive environment. My parents were always very supportive. As long as I kept my education up first, they were fully supportive of, and still are very supportive of, my goals and ambitions. And they told me, if this is what you want to do with your life, go and get be certified and be a professional in it. Struggles. Every creative, I think, has that one internal struggle of, am I good enough? That is literally always. That is always the question that we are always asking ourselves. We're only as good as the last thing that we put out. We're always trying to surpass and exceed and aim higher. And no matter how big of a fan base we may have, or sometimes, or how many times we hear that we're so good, and keep up the good work and all of that stuff.
It's like an internal battle against
you get
yourself.
it. It's always an internal. You are your biggest fan, but also your biggest critic at the same time. Sometimes it even only takes one mildly unpleasant comment in on a song or something that you drop to kind of just be like, man, did I just drop a pile of shit?
Yeah, honestly, that's true.
Yeah, so our biggest struggles are ourselves internally, always asking ourselves, is this really the best we can do? Have we reached our limit? I find myself having a conversation with myself at least 2-3 times a year, maybe more, but something always pulls me back in. It's like the best drug in the world. I can't shake this at this point.
I definitely feel you on that. Now we're gonna just shift it a little bit. For the viewers out there who may not know about what you just recently worked on, aka Speaker Box Rhythm, tell the viewers about that.
Oh man, yeah. So I within the past year relocated to Trinidad once again to continue pursuing my music and entertainment career, and getting back in touch with all of my old industry contacts down there, telling them I'm back, I'm ready to work. And one of my good colleagues, Explicit Mevon, who doesn't live too far from me where I am in Trinidad, he reached out with a couple of beats, and this one in particular, fun fact about me, I'm not a big fan of beats that have a single chord that just runs right through, which is kind of what this song is. So as cool as the beat was, I always have that in the back of my head. That's just the musician in me. I want something more to feed off of,
definitely.
But I kept listening to this one in particular. I'm like, there is something here, and I know that this was going to be a rhythm. So I'm like, if the right people get a hold of this, it could be something special. But I still, for days and days, just listening and had nothing. And then I was scrolling through the Shade Room of all places, and I saw that generic symbol that all the girls do now, the clock it. Yeah. And something came into my mind. I was like, ain't no soca singer use clock it in a song yet. How can I spin that to do something? And I'm like, yeah, this song, this rhythm needs females on it, you know. So I like, what do boss girls like to say nowadays? And the first line came into my head instantly: bad gal don't need no man. And from there, I was like, okay, yeah, that works. Well, it was Hot Girl at the time, and from there, I sent a quick voice note to Mevon, and he was like, yeah, you need to come in the studio right now so we could record this. We could record this demo. This song in bad, and I only had a hook at the time.
Wow.
You know, and the hook was all over the place. But we went in the studio, and I chopped it up, but the theme I wanted to continue was that clock that. I wanted that clock that to stick in there, and eventually we came up with this tune for bad girl, boss girls who just want to, those type of girls that you see on the road. They only whine with themselves and their girlfriends. Ain't no man could come behind them and whine. Yeah. It's just them. They having a good time. So the tune was specifically made to be a bad girl anthem.
Wow.
You know, and from there we spitballed the names, and I was like, bro, take it to everyone, you know, and let's see who bites. But it was definitely written for two women to sing. And about a week later, he messaged back me and said, yeah, bro, we sent it off to Patrice Roberts.
Wow.
And she loves it. And she sent it off to Nyla Blackman. Wow. And her team loves it. So they have never done a song together before up until this point.
Wow.
So they were like, yeah, this is the song that they want to do. And they did an amazing job with it.
They did.
They really did.
They really did.
I was privileged to be on set for one of the scenes of their shooting it. You know, just watching, just laying in the cut, watching the process. And I've been they've been familiar with them for many years. Nyla and I were friends before she became famous. You know, so it was just the right timing.
I feel
you know. But now the song has been released, and it has been blowing up and trending
it's doing amazing,
across
bro.
all the streaming platforms, and I'm definitely grateful for it.
I just gotta give you flowers, man, because ain't many people who could say I wrote for such like amazing talent. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
so, it's definitely my biggest pen work so far as a writing credit. Let me say that it's my biggest writing credit so far, and I'm definitely grateful for it.
You should be. So you have a couple hits like How, Ben with Star Martin is my favorite.
Hey,
man,
shout out to Star.
Man, look, I be having them songs on repeat. Yo,
Yeah.
I want
I appreciate
you
it.
to, yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
So what is the creative process like going into like creating these songs? Do you just be like, you know what, let me just create a song, or like does something spark it? Like
Listen, I don't know what many people's writing process is. For me personally, it either comes from real life stories. Sometimes it just comes in the spur of the moment. It all depends on the circumstances of the song. Like Ben with Star Martin was, you know, another one of those single chord beats that I'm really just not a fan of. But big shout out to Dupree Beats, you know. And you know, the night that we were supposed to head, we were going up to Jugu Studio, and I had nothing in my head, bro. And I was just like, you know what, bro, I need a drink. Can you bring up a bottle to the studio? And he was like, yeah, no problem, easy thing. And so I just sat there, just having the thing on repeat. I'm like, it needs to be hype, it needs to be something. And finally, after a shot, I was just like, hey, you like to bend, so bend from okay. I was like, yeah, quick before I lose this, hop in the studio and we go chop this up as it comes. Don't worry. Yeah, and that was just for bend, you know. With how was a tune written for me, so that I also work with other writers as well as writing my own stuff. So big shout out to Beyond. He wrote the KBG in Trinidad and Tobago. It really all depends on the situation. Sometimes it depends on the mood. Sometimes it comes from real life. Sometimes it comes in the spur of the moment. Yeah, but definitely. every day brings a different situation for you to create.
That is true. So we also see you being a brand ambassador for Digicel. How did that come about?
Ooh, I've been working with Digicel for about 3 years now. This month coming up is 3 years. it really just came from my content creation on TikTok.
Got you.
You know, they just saw my consistency. I was with another brand for a little while, but nothing was really coming of it, and my contract with them was about to expire, and someone from Digicel reached out to me and was like, what would it take for us to get you on the team? And I laid out my terms. They dubbed up a contract, and we started back in 2022, and they've renewed me ever since. I've been grateful to have them as a team. It's a good company to be behind, to
Definitely
say, yeah, you're working with Digicel, you do content for them. Yeah. So yeah. It's good stuff. Big up to them for sure.
Big up Digicel for you.
Should probably worn a red shirt today, but
I'll know I got Digicel on my phone on yeah.
As you should.
We're not sponsored, but we got red.
No, we got a red right here. We can take a clink to that.
Oh, that's amazing, man. So, out of every event that you have either hosted or performed at, what would you say is the most memorable?
Man, you're asking a hard question there, because
it's a lot.
I've been on a stage since I was 14, 15 years old, man. You know, one of my favorite memories probably I think it was in my early years, you know, when we were still in the rap group phase, and we were still just kind of all learning the business, how to make songs. We didn't know what we were doing half the time. We just had a program called Mixcraft, a mic, and a sock for a pop filter. We ain't had no fancy tools like y'all have right now. We had an empty, quiet room and a laptop and a mic, and that was it. You know,
the mic with a sock over it.
The mic with a sock over it, man, and that's how we made a lot of hits back then. You know, even the if you know higher level, I may never find another. You know, the I may never find another like you.
Yeah, I think I've heard it. Yeah.
The version a lot of us know today is not even the original version. The original version, Marissa and Travis recorded at home. And it sounded way different. It sounded way more raw.
But I think that's how most songs are.
Yeah. So, I think my early years, top 7 at 7 awards, performing for the first time in I think that would have been the biggest audience that we did at the time back in the Culture Center, full to the brim with all our peers from school and our parents and the community. It was you have to understand it was a huge movement at the time. This was groups from all over the BVI, from the West, from the East, groups from Virgin Gorda, and it was a community-driven thing, you know, that formed this nightly show where we were competing for the top spot. Definitely. And shout out to DJ Pushback, because he literally spurred an entire generation, a new generation of musicians. Those early years were definitely some of the best. I think my most favorite event, I think probably to host ever, it might have been again, it is a lot to choose from, but I think one of my favorite ones would be hosting festival for the first time.
Was that last year or?
Nah, when festival came back in 2022.
Okay.
I think when we started hosting, when people really started to know me as a host then, because it was another skill that I developed in Trinidad, but coming back here and being part of that MC wave that started to pick up at the time, I came at the right time for it to pick up, and I found a niche and I fit in, and everybody enjoyed my energy. So doing that on the festival stage with a huge sea of people, that I think that is my favorite thing.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
it's very cultural. For the young creatives in the BVA, whether they want to do music, film, art, whatever they want to do, those people who look up to you, what word of advice could you give to them, whether they're in a slump or whether they don't know that they want to start or how to start? What's advice you would give to that person?
Well, it's crazy to even think that there are now people that look up to me, because I still feel like I haven't even reached my peak yet, you know. But to those out there that, you know, are still young or new in this, the most important thing is to just start. You know,
just do it.
Just get up and do it. That is literally what we did. You know, we when I first started, I didn't have a microphone to record myself on. I didn't know how to do it. I went out to East with some of my classmates who were in a different group. And I'm like, I want to make a song. It's like, you have lyrics? I'm like, yeah. I have a beat. You want to do it on? I said, yeah. So I said, okay, come, let's do it. And I sat and I studied the process of how to kind of do it. And me and my best friend Cameron at the time, we just sat and we studied, and we eventually figured out how to do it ourselves.
Wow.
And yeah, if it's something you are passionate about, something that you love, it's going to come easy to you. But understand that the creative business is, one, an expensive business, and two, it is a labor of love. If you are in this because you want clout and you want accolades and glory, this is really not the business for you. Okay, there are many other ways to gain that. If you're just here because you want girls to like you, or you want money and fame, those things don't come overnight. One, and they don't come without a lot of sacrifice.
That is true.
And a lot of tears.
That is true.
But once you are in love with this, you will be in it for the long haul. You also have to invest in yourself. Right? You have all of this equipment. I didn't have none of this when I was coming up. I was just going on wishes and prayers. I would save up money and I would go to other people's studios. You guys are building your own studios, buying your own equipment, investing in your own spaces, right?
He actually built those actually.
See what I mean?
Yep.
See what I mean? A lot of us weren't thinking about that at the time. We would just pile the money together, go out and do it.
Yeah.
You guys are building your own spaces, and that is so very important. So a lot of you who are in this right now are doing leagues better than what we were doing when we were coming up, and that is such a great thing to see.
I mean, every generation you have to progress, and I think we're reaching to that point. Actually,
you are, and before you know it, you will be the ones that other people are looking up to. I'm sure there are people looking up to you right now.
I highly doubt it.
You just don't know it yet.
I highly doubt it.
This guy who went to British Parliament that thinks people aren't looking up to him.
So what's next for you?
Well, you caught me at the time. This is my last night in BVI before I head back to Trinidad. Carnival season is coming up, so I'll be heading back down to get my feet wet in there and prepare for that. We just came off of Uber Soca Cruise being in the BVI. So listen, I know whatever contract.
Actually, hold up. So let me give you a little story.
Nah.
Right? So me and Emmanuel,
no,
we went out to film. I was like, Emmanuel, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you protect your camera. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah man. 20 minutes into the Juve, I look to my left. I see this whole man camera splatter dash. Like, we saw it. So then we just ran back to the cab, put it back, and we just went more business because.
Wow.
Yeah.
When I get it back off.
You were not ready, huh?
He was not ready at all. So not ready at all.
Listen, I'm looking forward to seeing them. I really am. It was a big moment for BVI. A lot of people will have their naysays about it, and that's just par for the course at this point. And I'm not going to try to convince you otherwise, because I know that your gripes about it are not unjustified or you're not unfounded, but I prefer to look on the positive side of everything. And
no, that's true.
The fact that the biggest soca party on the sea came to BVI for the first time is a really great look, and the fact that we did it so well with maybe little to no preparation on our side locally, which again, we got to work on that. Organization is everything. That announcement was made a year ago. I'm not here to criticize that. The point is, we pulled it off without a hitch. No fighting.
Yep.
No crime. No incident of any kind has been reported. As far as I know, knock on wood.
And I got that wine.
You can't ask for more than that.
Can't ask for more.
You can't ask for more than that.
Can't ask for more.
So I don't know when next I'll be in the BVI, but if y'all ever call, I'll be there.
Definitely. I got 3 more questions for you. This one might be a long question.
Okay.
There are a plethora of different artists in the Caribbean, internationally, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
if you could collaborate with any artist in the Caribbean or creative in the Caribbean, who would it be and why? It's kind of like you're shooting a shot.
Man, Masha Montano, most definitely. That is to this day one of my biggest musical inspirations. The man has been at it for
Years.
Decades, over 40 years.
You're right.
That
You're
guy has been performing since he was 9. So yeah, he's a king of soca for a reason.
Really
and
is,
if I can either write with him, sing on a song with him, some manner of ways of collaborating with the king, that would be my top pick. I would definitely love to do a song with Destra as well, because
Destra's dope.
She's
dope.
She's my favorite female artist of all time.
Wow.
From day one, when her original album that It's Carnival dropped on was called Red, White and Black. From that time, she was always my favorite, and I've been privileged enough to know her and her to know me in this business and my career. And if nothing else, I can die knowing that she knows my name. So yeah, definitely would love to work with her. Internationally, a song with Chris Brown would be epic. And Burna Boy, I think I would love
That
to.
is actually, wow, I never heard anyone say that before. No.
Really?
I like that. Burn up. Okay, yeah, I like it. I like this. And knowing you, big dog, you don't achieve your goals. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Because I feel like we as VA people, we as Caribbean people, we don't support people until they make it big. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you from now, you will achieve what you will achieve. And I promise you, when that Burna Boy song come out, when that Chris Brown song come out, when that Destra song come out, when that Machel song come out, I'm gonna be your number one listener. I'll tell you straight up. Because no, when Ben came out, nah, you don't understand. I had that in ponging down my house.
I'm a drink to that one. I
Let's go.
appreciate that confidence in me, man. No sponsor.
No sponsor.
Yet.
Yet?
Yet.
I like it. So, you grew up in the BVI. Mm-hmm. And we have this debate pretty much almost like every month, every Christmas time, every festival time. Mm-hmm. You know, there's this pastry we like to call tart, you know?
Coconut.
I'm going to still ask the question.
The answer is not going to change, but go ahead.
Out of every tart that has ever been made,
Coconut.
kiwi, mango,
Coconut.
pineapple, guava.
We don't deal with fusions wrong here.
That's it, you don't think.
Fusions are for Dragon Ball Z and Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
What is the best tart?
Coconut tart.
You see, that's why I mess with you, you know? This is why I mess with you, dog. Yo.
Matter of fact, I have a Christmas carol for you. This one is not off the cut. I actually composed it last year. I just don't have a beat to it.
Okay.
If anybody out there, I can't go to certain people because certain people are racist. Brent Hoyt to coconut tart.
Oh,
so
no,
I can't.
that's facts.
I can't go to certain people to produce this. But I'll give it to you anyway, right?
Okay, listen.
All right, so it goes like this. Mama throw that guava tart in the garbage. Mama throw that pineapple tart away. Oh yeah. Mama save that guava berry for Granny. Because it's only coconut tart I want you to make. Everybody singing out coconut. I want you make for the Christmas. Throw the other tart them away. Coconut. I want you make for the Christmas. Throw the other tart them away. If you don't make coconut for the Christmas, then by my house, boy, you can't stay. Coconut. I want you make for the Christmas. Throw the other tart them away.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't cut that.
Let's see if somebody make a beat off of that, and we gonna have a new Christmas carol in the BVA.
You know how Brent made the brag and I read him. I don't think he can do that for this, man.
He definitely will not, and
Corporate should say earlier when he gets out.
brag at him.
I don't know who's gonna make it, but I know it's not gonna be him. That's a long-standing beef that he and I have. Brent's still a great dude.
He really is.
One of the best out there to ever do it. It's just that one flaw in his character, you know. And other than that, he'd probably get into heaven, you know.
Like I actually had him on and I asked him the question and he was very chill about it. You know, he'd be like, like he would eat that coconut tart, but he just say like the pineapple just better. And I'm like, coconut to me, like the best coconut tart is the best tart in period.
If I had to pick a second best, guava berry would be it for me.
I can't agree with you on that one.
And that's fine. And that's fine.
As long as you're coconut.
We don't fight for silver medals. We aim for gold.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Our top threes can differ. You know.
True.
You know what is under? I will say strawberry tart.
I never had strawberry.
It is surprisingly delicious.
Wow. Have you ever had a kiwi?
Nah, I never tried the kiwi before, but I'm willing to try it before pineapple anyway.
All right, my last question to you is more so like something for you to finish, right?
Okay.
Finish the sentence. In 5 to 10 years, Hashim the Dream will be.
Hashim the Dream.
Hashim the Dream.
Hashim will be Hashim the Dream. Whatever that means in 10 years. In 2035, Hashim the Dream will still be Hashim the Dream. However God permits me.
Amen.
You know, whether it is the biggest star in the world, whether it is back here giving to the community, sharing of my talents. If God forbid it is time for me to move on to the next world, the only thing I want to be remembered by is that I lived my dream and
Amen.
that dreams never die.
Wow, that is so inspirational. Bro, I just want to appreciate you for coming on the pod. Letting these people hear your story, letting them know how lovely coconut tart is.
Of course. We'll always spread the good news in that way.
Always.
Coconut cartel all the way.
Coconut tart, but that's not rum in it, right?
That's
Actually-
you are a visionary, my friend.
Actually, no, wait. Okay, so you know how black cake got a little... you revolutionary, like.
No. With no vision, the people will perish.
No, wait, no vision, the people will perish.
And you will prosper.
Coconut
Mark
tart.
my words.
Okay, for the holiday season, coconut tart with a splash of rum in it. I don't know what it is, what type of rum it is, but
King and Bay rum.
King Garden Bay rum.
Support local.
BV vodka.
Yeah.
I'm not too strong, bro.
BVI gin. Crucian. Coconut Crucian.
Coconut Crujan specifically that. But hey man, it was Hashim the Dream coming to spread positivity. He is an amazing person, one of the best people that I know to ever do it, bro. I appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
I'm wishing you the best going forward in life, man.
Yeah, man. Don't make a thug cry on your podcast, man. Relax yourself, man. Hey, big up y'all. Thank y'all so much for having me. Fortune Islands all day, every day.
Amen.
You don't know. Swat.